हेलो। Hey, ठीक है। और मैं आई थिंक सेकंड ना टॉप नहीं करी बड़े जो भी करना है तो मेरे को
Hi all, good afternoon. Hi Shakti, hi Nitin, can you hear me?
Hi Jyoti, I can hear you.
Can we set the background for this one? I'm not sure. Because for Zoom, we had set the background, Lejhro one. Have you done it for you yourself, Nitin? Okay, change background here. So Nitin, you'll be turning on your video, right? Then you'll start speaking.
Yeah, Jyoti.
Okay, fine. So how many people were expecting? Around 400? What? Shakti was telling like there are around 400 inquiries.
Hello everyone, and I welcome you all to today's session.
Hello.
Yeah, as you can see, the topic of today's webinar will be machine learning algorithm implementation. So let us start with a brief overview of our company. Lejhro Tensor was founded in the year 2013 at Bangalore with a vision to empower the next generation of innovators by training them in digital skills. Tensor by Lejhro is a powerful hybrid education platform that offers a balanced mix of individual and group classes for the technical training certification. Lejhro also provides consulting and outsourcing services. As we go forward, I would like to introduce today's presenter, Mr. Jyotiranjan, who is a SAP HCM and Success Factors lead business analyst and HANA Success architect with 14.5 years of experience. He is also IDIL V3 certified consultant. Currently, he is pursuing his MS in Business Analytics from Dublin Business School, Ireland. So, moving forward, there is one announcement. You will get the e-certificates when you fill the feedback form that we will be sharing with you soon. So, over to you, Jyoti.
Yep. Thanks, Nitin. That was really a nice introduction. So, hope you guys can hear me. Can you hear me, guys? If you can get a response, Nitin.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have the control of the slides? Can you go to the first slide, please? Okay. So I don't know if I can see the chat from people. Can others respond to me? I mean, I can see only Nitin, Shakti, other people who are there in YouTube live session. Can they ask questions to me? I can't see the chat, but anyways, we can continue. So, guys, I know you must be really excited about this session, machine learning, right? So these are all buzzwords. If I talk about artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, data science, right? Text mining, there are a lot of words. So you guys really must be excited about these words, what they are all about, what they mean. Are they really important to us? Okay, these questions must be coming to mind on a daily basis. The students, at least, the working professionals, right? So when I was also working, I mean, I was also fascinated towards these words, guys. I mean, what exactly is machine learning? I mean, it really sounds very fancy, right? What is machine? What is learning? Are you going to make the machines learn or what? We have been learning from our childhood days what to do, what not to do. We have completed our education, secondary education, higher secondary, then graduation, post graduation for some people. Okay. So are we going to teach machines how to behave or what? That was the question which was coming to my mind, guys, when I actually heard about this words, machine learning. So yes, machine learning means we want to make the machines learn, guys. That's the theory behind this machine learning, the word. This buzzword, basically. And if I talk about, can you please go to the next slide? Yes. So there must be a lot of questions coming to mind. I mean, is this subject or topic relevant to you? Is it going to really help you in your career? Did you grow in your career or not? Do we really have to do a lot of coding in this subject? Do you really need any coding experience or not? Coding background? A lot of questions are there. Will I get a good salary when I complete this course or when I enroll for this course? A lot of questions, right? So when I was a student, I was also having questions when I used to go for the C classes, C++ classes, or the Java classes, guys. The same questions I can understand very much. It will be coming to mind. So it's all human psychology. I mean, it will be coming to mind definitely, the way it comes to everyone's mind. So yes, if you don't have coding experience, not a worry. You don't have to worry at all, okay? Because we will teach you the basics of Python. Again, coming back to Python, what exactly is Python? So guys, in machine learning, we basically use the languages like Python or R. There are two different languages which are basically used in the market. But in our course, in our classes, we will be actually going through Python language. Why Python? I'll be able to explain you in the next slides. Okay, and you don't have to really have any coding experience background. We will teach you the basics, and we will give you the code, and you can also interpret the code with us. Okay, we'll teach you how to interpret the code. No need to, keep the code by heart. It's not possible for any human being to keep the code by heart, the syntax, the statements. We use the documents which are available in Google, and then we can do the coding. We can refer to the documents available, which are there in the official websites. So no need to worry, no need to buy out anything. Okay. So this session will be around 50 to 55 minutes. We will try to cover the basics. I'll tell you what this session is all about, these buzzwords, how we can achieve it, what will be the course curriculum, the duration of the course, okay, how it is going to help us in the future in a career. Are you going to get better jobs or not in the market, and who can actually take up this course? Okay, these are all things we're going to cover. I'll also show you one live example, guys. We'll run one live program where I'll show you how the output comes. So that will actually make you more excited towards this when I show you the live program. Okay? Okay, can I go to the next slide, please? This has been explained about Lejhro Tensor. Okay, these things will be covering, guys. The Python basics about Python, machine learning, and why it is so popular these days, and what's next. How are we going to achieve the things in machine learning? I'll be trying to explain these things in brief, okay, over next 40 45 minutes or 50 minutes. Next slide, please. Okay, this slide basically speaks about Python, guys. So as I mentioned earlier, there are two languages which are broadly used, Python and R. R is a bit tough to understand. It's a bit tough to interpret, but Python is very easy, guys. The syntax of the statements are very simple to understand. They're very simple to interpret. It's like a normal English sentence. Okay, you will slowly, come to see these things when we go ahead in the next slides, or when I take you to the live example. And if I speak about history of Python, it was founded in 1980s by this gentleman, Guido van Rossum, okay, at CWI. Then we had different versions of Python coming forward, and the latest one which you have in the market right now is 3.9.6. Okay, so anything above 3.6, 3.7 is good. The latest one is 3.9. Again, Python, if you have to use, again, we need an editor, right? We need a platform to write this Python code. There are various things available in market. Yeah, I don't know if you have heard about this Anaconda or not. If you install Anaconda, then you have various options available in Anaconda. We have Spider, we have PyCharm, we have Jupyter Notebook, a lot of things are available. We also have something called Google Colab. It's given by Google. Okay, it's basically cloud-based online platform for writing Python code and executing the code. So today, the live program which I'm going to show you, it will be Google Colab. It's very easy to use. I'll show you how to use that. Okay. Next slide, please. Now, when I say Python is easy to learn, you can see this code, guys, below. So when I have to print a simple statement in Java, hello world, I have to write at least 3 or 4 lines. But when I have to print the simple statement hello world in Python, it's just one single statement, one single line, nothing else. So you can interpret, you can make it out from this screenshot how it's easy to write a code in Python as compared to Java or any other language like C or C++. Okay, it's very versatile, it's very efficient. It can read data from a lot of sources. It can be easily integrated with a lot of environments. It's used in automation, in robotics. Everywhere now that this Python is being used. The big websites which you guys see now, Facebook, Google, Amazon, a lot of these websites have also this Python in the backend. Okay, next slide, please. Now, when we come to data science or machine learning or artificial intelligence, they're kind of correlated to each other, guys. I mean, they are not exactly the same, but there is some kind of interrelation between these 2 to 3 things. Now you can see this word, something called business analytics. So if I talk about this term, business analytics, what exactly does this mean? A business, everyone knows, right? All the companies, they run their own business, like Facebook, Google, Amazon. Any company you take, they have their own business. What is analytics? Analytics is nothing but just playing with the figures, playing with the numbers. Every quarter, the company will come out with its quarterly results. Okay? And then every annual year, they will also have the annual result. The people who are sitting in the boardroom, the CEOs, the CFOs, the CIOs, okay, the chairman, the managing director of the company, they are basically worried about these figures, the numbers. What are the sales for that particular quarter? What was the revenue? What are the profit? Was there any loss or not? How much debt was there? How much margin was there? What are the future expansion plans? So these are all actually finance-related terms which are used in the boardroom of a company. So these figures actually put forth to the board of directors or the people who are sitting in the boardroom in the form of graphs, basically. We all know graphs, right? We all know pie charts. So these board members, they're actually interested in looking at these graphs or pie charts. That's why we have this called analytics. We have reports, we have dashboards, okay? And there are different tools to prepare these charts. So in our course, we will actually tell you also about Power BI. We'll also tell you about Tableau. Not exactly right now, but when you enroll for the course, we will explain you the nitty-gritties of Tableau and Power BI. Okay, how it is used to fetch the data, how it is used to transform the data, how it is used to view the data and present the data. So these things will be explained when you enroll for the course, guys. So this, I talked about descriptive analytics. You have a lot of data with you. You actually convert it, you transform it, you filter it, then you present it in a format so that it can be easily understood by the people. Okay, that is what descriptive analytics speaks about. What is predictive analytics? So in predictive analytics, we actually try to do the predictions, guys. What is going to the weather forecast for after next 2 months? What's going to be the weather forecast after 1 week? How the weather is forecasted? I mean, when we are actually trying to forecast the cyclones, okay. Then if we are able to predict anything regarding the natural calamities, how we are doing all these things to predict certain things over here. Okay. Now we have machine learning in various sectors, guys. We have machine learning in weather forecasting. We have machine learning in healthcare industry. We have machine learning. I mean, you take any industry, it's already there. It's in IT industry. It's in retail industry. It's in fashion industry. Anywhere. You just speak about it. It's in space. This thing, okay, space exploration. It's everywhere, guys. Machine learning, this analytics, the robotics. I mean, it plays a very vital role in all these industries. So in these things, I mean, if I give an example from healthcare industry, so what normally, I mean, what nowadays people are doing in healthcare industries, they're actually feeding the vital parameters of a person to the machine. And then the machine will tell you, okay, is this person prone to any particular disease, like diabetes or any heart ailments? Is this guy going to have any serious issue, maybe in the next coming 1 or 2 years, based on the vital parameters we feed to the machine? This is how, I mean, the machines are able to predict the things for us, guys, in advance. When we feed them certain data, when we feed them with certain data, okay? So that's the crux behind machine learning. We feed data to the machines and they actually give us the output. And it's not that, okay, we'll feed anything and they'll give us the output. It's not like that. So we will discuss in detail when we guys enroll for the classes and how we get the data, from what source we get the data. Is the data in proper format or not? Do we have to transform the data? Then how do we interpret the data? Okay. Then how do we feed it to the machines? How do we train the machine? Now, once the machine is trained, is it able to predict properly or not? How much is the accuracy of the prediction? So a lot of things will come into picture when we slowly go ahead. Okay. So this was about prediction, guys, predictive analytics. Now what is prescriptive? Now, based on these predictions, machine tells us, okay, what needs to be done. Okay, it will prescribe something. Based on the predictions, it will prescribe something. Okay, this thing is better. It's better to go ahead with this. Machine will ask us to do this thing. Okay, and below in the slide we see one term, there is data mining. What is data mining? Again, it's the same thing. I mean, we actually get huge chunk of data, we try to process it, and then we try to fetch patterns out of the data, or we try to fetch useful information, guys. Now, if I give another example, so when the US elections were happening between Trump and Biden, a lot of people were trying to tweet in Twitter, right? You guys must be using Twitter nowadays, right? All of us, almost all of us use just Twitter. So uh, before, when the election results were supposed to come out, the parties, the two parties which are there in US, they are trying to predict who is going to win based on the tweets. So there is one way. I mean, what they do is they actually download maybe some lakhs and lakhs of tweets from Twitter. Okay, then they try to learn those tweets. I mean, they try to interpret those tweets. They try to fetch a specific pattern from those tweets. Then they are able to figure out, okay, this person, maybe Biden or Trump, is getting more favorable tweets. They can make a prediction. Okay, this guy might win based on the tweets, guys. This is just an example. That is called text mining. So text is there in whatever format it's there in Twitter. There will be a lot of wild characters like hashtag, other asterisk, anything. It will be like percentage symbol. Any characters will be there. Wild characters it might be there. So we have to, transform the data. We have to purify it. We have to filter the duplicates. Then the machine will be able to predict for us. Okay, who is going to win? Maybe based on the tweets. The machine is not going to read the voting machines. Okay, machine is not going to find out who has given the vote for whom. We're just going to do the prediction based on the tweets which are there in Twitter. Okay, it's not legal for the machine to go and read the voting machines, guys. That's not legal. That is on a lighter note. Yeah. Okay. Next slide, please. Yeah, as I mentioned, a few minutes back, this artificial intelligence, data science, machine learning, they are kind of interrelated to each other. They're kind of intertwined. If you see the sphere on the right-hand side, it's a bigger sphere, right? Artificial intelligence. It's a vast ocean. And in that, we have these sectors like machine learning or deep learning. So they're kind of interrelated to each other, but they're not exactly the same thing. Artificial intelligence is a big ocean, and up in that ocean, we have small pieces called machine learning or deep learning. Okay, and what is artificial intelligence? If you're feeding intelligence to the machine, that is called artificial intelligence. Okay. Now let's say we have robots in our houses, right? Because of pandemic, the household activities had to be performed, like the sweeping, the mopping, and all these things. It's being done by a robot. I have one robot at my place. A lot of people might be having with you. So you just switch it on. The robot goes and does the cleaning for you. The robot knows where to go, where not to go, where is the obstacle. Just giving an example, guys. This is how the intelligence is fed to the machines. Machine becomes very intelligent. It can take decisions on its own. Let's say I buy a new machine. I'll just put it on. Okay. I'll just put it on the machine. Then the machine will actually scan the house. It will find out where are the obstacles, where it should go, where it should not go. Then those things will be captured in its memory. So that next time when you switch it on after 1 week or maybe after 2 days, it knows where to go, where not to go, how to do the cleaning, and all these things. Okay, that's how these machines are becoming more intelligent these days, guys. We're feeding intelligence into them. If I give you another example, what happened during COVID times, you must have seen a lot of videos in WhatsApp or any other platforms, what happened in China. The COVID patients, they were actually quarantined in hotels or in buildings, okay? The normal people, the nurses or the people, the healthcare officials, they didn't go and feed those people directly. There used to be a robot which actually used to carry food packets for those patients. The robot used to go to that person's room. It used to knock at the door, and the patient will take the packet of food from that robot, and the robot will come back. I have seen it in WhatsApp videos. This kind of things are already there, okay? I had seen it in last year, the COVID times. So you can imagine what kind of intelligence we're able to feed to the machines so that they can take decisions on their own lives. It's just amazing, just marvelous. I was talking to someone yesterday in my class. I'm just waiting for that time when I'll be able to smell something through WhatsApp, guys. you get a lot of videos, right? A lot of photos through WhatsApp. People send you videos WhatsApp. You can view it, you can hear it. I'm just waiting for that day when we will be able to smell something just come through WhatsApp. I mean, it's possible. It's very much possible, guys. Nothing is impossible. I mean, science is just magical. You can't do anything with science. You know how these people, Jeff Bezos, he went to space, right? A few days back, like 2, 3 days back. He was in space for almost 11 minutes. So can you imagine? This is called space journey, space tourism, guys. If you have a lot of money, if you're a millionaire, if you're a billionaire, then you can spend it and you can go to space. You can go and have a tour of the space. So you can imagine, I mean, the level of science, the level of development is there in science, IT, programming. That's why, I mean, all these things have programming behind it, guys. Any screen, you're using this application, right? You're using YouTube, you're using Google Meet, you're using Zoom. Everything has code behind it. And for that, we need programming, we need intelligence, okay? Some kind of intelligence is being fed to the machines, to the softwares, basically, algorithms. That's why these things are very, very popular these days. I think it just started booming maybe 5 years back. 10 years back, no one was actually talking about AI anymore. It was not that popular. Maybe 5 years back or 7 years back, it started becoming popular like hell. Okay, can I please go to the next slide? Did I get some chat thing over here? Do you think big data, big health data, data science, MI, DL, cloud computing, and coding become more necessary in a learning process in the near future at any level? Yes, absolutely, Nasser. So, Nasser, you're from which place? I'm not sure. But yes, your question is very, very valid. It's going to be very, very important in everyone's life if you learn these things. You take any sector, any name, machine learning is being used, AI is being used, data science is being used. You take any name, any sector. Now, I was going through an article sometime back, maybe 1 week back. These petrochemical refineries are there, right? We have a big one in Middle East. What is that name? I'm not able to get that name, but we have Reliance in India. So all these petrochemical refineries, the labor was not available. They actually went to the villages, okay, because of COVID. So what they did is they actually implemented the automated thing. What they will do, the automated software, it will go and check the pipelines. Which one is getting corroded? Which one needs, attention? Which one is fine? How these pipelines are working or not? Everything is automated, guys. So Reliance made use of this. I'm not actually able to get that name, which is there in Middle East. There is going to be a collaboration also between Reliance and that company. So it's so automated, guys. I mean, how technology has come into picture during this COVID times, you can see. You just can't imagine. So in every sphere, in every, place, you'll definitely find these terms, these words. Definitely, everyone is going to use this. Okay, so we are actually going to try this to make these machines intelligent so that they can help us, okay, in making decisions. Everyone is talking about automations. Fine, and the aeroplanes, guys, the aeroplanes which fly, the commercial planes, jets. I actually follow a lot of people in YouTube. I follow some pilots. So what they do is, someone is asking this question: why pilots are paid so much? They actually put the aeroplane on autopilot mode and they do nothing. It's not that, guys. They have to play a major role during takeoff and landing times. But yeah, in between they can put it in autopilot mode. See how intelligent is the aeroplane. It can fly on its own in autopilot mode. Yes, obviously, when there is some turbulence, the weather is not good, then definitely the pilot comes into picture. But otherwise, the aeroplane can actually fly on its own in the air when you put it in autopilot mode. This is the level of automation, guys. This is the level of intelligence we feed to the machines. Okay? Even aeroplanes also, we actually develop chips for them. We develop circuits. The code is there. So everything you talk about, anything you talk about, it needs these things: machine learning, AI, robotics, all these things, guys. Data science, deep learning. Oh, cool. So in machine learning and data science, what we do is we actually try to play around with data. So we actually work on huge volume of data from the past and the present. Then we try to predict the future based on this data. How it is going to help us in taking decisions, how it's going to help companies in taking decisions. Okay, what type of business can we do with knowledge of data science, ML, AI? I got one question from Mosmi. So if you want to run a store, if you want to run a shop, if this is the question, then yeah, you can have this software installed in the system in your desktop. But someone has to actually develop this software, right? Someone has to develop this software which has to be installed in the desktop or the algorithm. Only when it is developed, okay, only when it has been developed by an analyst, by an IT person, then only you can use this. So these companies, what they will do is they will sell it to you and they can start using in your shop, in your business. Like I have worked for companies, guys, like Accenture. I have worked for Atos. You might have heard about it. I've worked for John Deere, for Birlasoft, KPIT Technologies. These companies I work for. I have almost 15 years of experience. So if I talk about what I've seen in these things, so everyone is actually sitting at a desktop or the laptop with systems. Okay. So even if you go to a shop now, any shop, any small shop also, they are trying to have these machines. If you see a billing machine also, or if you see a desktop which is used for printing an invoice or anything, everything has programs behind it, right? And how you can make use of this data? Let's say I'm talking about a retail shop. I'm having a superstore near me. Okay, mostly let's say you have a superstore. You sell groceries, you sell other food items, medicines, maybe anything. Now, if I give you one example, data sets which come to us normally, which we have worked in their life in companies. So now what the shops do, they actually have the sales period, right? They give discounts. So last year, let's say they gave 2 discounts. They had 2 sales period. Normally we get sales, right? Like we get in Amazon, we get in Flipkart. Okay, during particular times, if you go and buy this stuff at these times, then we'll get huge discount. So what kind of analysis we do with the data? I will pick the data from last 5 years, or I'll pick the data from last 2 years, and I will figure it out. That when I actually had this sales at place in these shops or in these superstores, did it really make any difference to the sales figures? Did it actually help me improve my revenue? Did it actually help me improve my sales, generate more profit? This kind of analysis, guys, is done with the data. They can be able to predict, okay, which kind of person is actually going for which kind of data. Okay, then you can figure it out. Okay, this good is getting sold a lot. You can derive patterns from these programs, from these algorithms, machine learning algorithms. That's how they are being used. It's a very good question, Masami. So because of this question, I was able to answer this. I mean, how you can make use of this thing, algorithms in your businesses also. This is a real-time example I'm talking about, guys. If you have sales period, if you have sales offers going around, maybe once or twice in a year, then you can figure it out. Are they really contributing to your sales or not? Are they contributing to your revenues or not? This one is real-time example, guys, I'm talking about. What business you can start with the knowledge of data science, ML? See, I won't be able to tell you if you want to open a shop or you want to, what exactly you need to do. But yeah, this is about, guys, coding in systems, laptops. You can land up in a job with an IT company. You can land up in a job with a medical pharma company. Every company, they have their own in-house IT teams nowadays, guys. Okay, it's not that I can go and start a business with this machine learning. Okay, but yeah, you have to write algorithms, write programs which are going to help these companies. Okay, and you have to buy these softwares, guys, from the IT companies maybe, or from the service providers. Or what we call is basically the product companies who sell the products. So the business analysts or the data scientist or the data architect, they will be actually working on this data. They will be providing algorithms, okay, and they will be able to predict, okay, with the help of machine learning algorithms, what good decision can be taken, which will help the company increase its revenue, increase its sales, increase its profit. Okay. But if you want to open a shop with this, I'm sorry, I may not be able to answer your question, but yeah, this is used basically in the systems, laptops. You have to use laptops, desktops to write the programs, write the algorithms. Okay, or you have to buy it from a service provider. Okay. EdTech, yeah, education tech companies, a lot of companies use this, like Byju's, or you take about Tensor, Lejhro. I mean, yeah, we all use these algorithms. I hope I was able to answer your question. So if you have to be a data scientist, you want to be a data analyst or business analyst in a company, and with experience, you become a data scientist, you data architect, okay? There are different designations when you grow with experience. So you'll be working for companies. It's not only with IT companies, but you can also work for the product companies, guys. You have their in-house IT teams, and they really need people. Like my last organization was John Deere, and it was a company who actually manufactures big machineries for forestry, for agriculture, okay? It's a big competitor of Mahindra in India. It's the largest tractor maker or forest equipment maker in the US. John Deere. Okay. I mean, the kind of innovation they have, the kind of automation they have, I mean, guys, it's amazing. So when they want to run a tractor, operate a tractor, they just have to do it with their iPads or the mobile phones. They have to just switch it on. A tractor automatically goes to the fields from its parking. It goes and it does just its job, like tilling, putting maybe what do you call it, manure or fertilizers in the soil, digging, planting. You just instruct it through these iPads, and they do their job and come back and sit at the parking place. And the job which is done, it's done with so much of precision, guys. I mean, it's just unimaginable. There is so much of precision, and it's all possible because of the coding, the code which is there behind the softwares. Yes, it's very much useful in e-commerce. That's what I was telling you, a channel sometime back. Like there are companies like Amazon, right? There are companies like Flipkart. We have companies like eBay. So they use all these algorithms, machine learning algorithms, to find out, okay, which kind of person is actually buying, okay, this kind of stuff. Like I'm a teenager. Let's say you're a teenager. What kind of stuff you're interested in? Let's say a person who's in 30s or 20s. What kind of stuff he's interested in? If I'm giving sales, if I'm giving offers maybe twice in a year, how it is helping me to boost my business. So all this kind of data, guys, I mean, what stuff was sold the most during these offer periods. So we have to gather all this data. This data is already there. Okay, they have it in the systems. When someone buys when a customer buys something, or when a customer places an order, then all this information or data is there in the systems, right? So machine learning algorithms will be developed in such a way that it will pull all the data, past data, present data, and it will try to figure out this business questions. I mean, different businesses will have different questions. I mean, what item got sold the most during these offer periods? Which item is getting least interest, which is not getting sold? Just an example, guys. And all this information, actually, they are produced to the management through reports, which is Power BI or Tableau. Just to give you an example. And in our courses, we have one course called Business Analytics. There we will tell you how to do all these things in Power BI, or how to do all these things in Tableau. So a hacker can also use this technology. Then how safe will the data of the company? Yeah, definitely hacker can hack it. So that's why we have cybersecurity in place, guys. It's a very, very popular subject right now. The way we have machine learning, the way we have data science, the way we have business analytics, there is something called cybersecurity. They have to do their job, guys. We have to make our systems secure so that other people cannot trespass into our systems. Okay, there are different teams who actually need to work together. So if I'm writing an algorithm, a trespasser cannot come and steal it from my system. It has to be there securely, safely in my system. That's why companies have their own networks. There's something called virtual private VPN, virtual private networks. Okay, that's where teams are in place, guys. Cybersecurity teams who have to secure the networks of the companies. Now, when these COVID vaccines were getting developed, guys, by different countries, UK was developing, Russia was developing, China was developing, India was doing something, US was doing, Germany was doing. So, I mean, you must have read a lot of news are coming, right? So, Russian spies, or maybe spies from other countries, or China or something. I mean, just for example, I'm just telling you the names, guys. no offense towards any country, just the names I'm taking. Maybe India also was trying to do. They were trying to steal information, what kind of vaccine they are producing. Those kind of information is stored in machines, right? Computers. So every team, every company has a team, a cyber security team who has to take care of these things. Security. Security is very, very important. Security. You cannot afford to have viruses in your systems. You cannot afford to have hackers who can just hack your systems. I hope I was able to answer your question. Okay, now let's come back to the slides. Guys, on the left-hand side, you can see the prospects of this field or sector. So in 2021, the revenues is around 327 billion USD. The growth rate is, just amazing, 16.4%, guys. And by 2024, the market is expected to reach around 550 plus billion USD, guys. The growth rate, compounded annual growth rate is 17.5%. It's just amazing. Okay, and if you see the graphs below, yeah, you can see it's used in so many sectors, in computer vision applications, in natural language processing, computer platforms, smart robots, okay, gesture control, video recognition. So these are all machine learning things, guys. These are all AI, ML. So you must have seen when you actually type a message in Gmail, when you're trying to compose a message, when you say something, hello, maybe hello channel, then I come down, when I say how are you, when you're typing how, then the machine automatically suggests are you. Then it's suggesting, okay, what text can come after how. So you don't have to type it again. You just have to bring the cursor, the mouse to that place, and okay, that's done. Hope things are okay with you. I'm going to attach and file. So if you see this, guys, the machine is actually proposing these words to you. Why? These are all because of machine learning. The machine has been taught how to behave. Now you must have seen a lot of times, okay, I'm attaching this file and sending it to you. If I'm putting this in email, and let's say if you don't have the attachment, then the machine actually, the Gmail actually tries to find out, okay, the user has already mentioned this word attachment, but the attachment is missing. So it prompts, are you trying to send an attachment? If you forgot to do that, then you can do that. But these are all intelligence, guys, machine learning and intelligence, which is fed to the machines. See, I've talked about so many examples now. Okay? If you talk about the car, we have wipers, right? When there is rain, then the wipers automatically start in the high-end cars. You don't have to switch it on. This is another example of machine learning. You just look around yourself and you'll be able to find thousands and thousands of examples in different areas, different sectors. Okay, can you go to the next slide, please? Yeah, these sectors I already talked about: healthcare, gaming, finance, astronomy, data security, travel, transport. Just to name a few, guys. We haven't covered all the sectors here, just to name a few. You take any sector, and yeah, you're asking, right? E-commerce. I don't know if e-commerce is mentioned or not here, but education is tech company. Someone was asking, Nitin. Or Mosmi was asking, I guess. So yeah, tech also we have education. You take any field, machine learning and AI is there. You just take any field, and any field or every field you take will generate a lot of volume of data, guys. And what you can do with data, you can do wonders with data. When you have data, when you have information in system, you can just do wonders. You need data to feed to the machines, to the algorithms, so that they can take decisions. We have to train them how to take decisions. And if we find out, okay, this thing is helpful, then we can actually deploy it in real world, that algorithm. So we will teach you how to deploy it in a real world, how the companies can start using those things. Okay, we'll actually teach you the details when you enroll for the course. Okay, next slide, please. Yeah, again, there are different terms in machine learning: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. Yeah, you can just read it through the slides. In supervised learning, guys, we actually try to find out there is some output. Okay, let's say I'm feeding the machine with a lot of records, like about a car, a resale car. I have thousands of records of a resale car, of 1,000 cars, right? What was the build year of the car? Is it a petrol or a diesel car? What is the engine capacity? Is air conditioning available or not? Does the car have airbags or not? Do you have power steering? Do you have power windows? So based on these things, we're actually trying to predict the price of a resale car, guys. Not a new car, maybe a resale car. I'm just giving an example. It's just supervised learning because we are trying to predict something over here. We have an output. What is unsupervised learning? Unsupervised learning, we don't have any particular output, but the machine tries to figure out patterns. Like I said about Twitter, the machine will try to figure out patterns. To try to figure out, okay, what clusters are available in the data. Okay, that is unsupervised learning. There is something called reinforcement learning, wherein the machine actually learns from itself every time we run it. That is called reinforcement learning. Okay, next slide, please. And also AI in learning and teaching foreign languages. This one came from Nasser. Nasser, you are from which place? If you can please ping me. Okay, maybe I'll get the ping later. We will be teaching in English language. So the mode of teaching will be English for us. I'm not sure about other companies or other organizations what they do. But yeah, we'll be writing the code in English language. We will be talking and discussing in English language. I'm sorry, but this is what we have right now. The mode of communication is only English. Okay, so if you see this slide, guys, I mean, when we get a real-time problem from the business, this is how we actually work. So the first block, it talks about business problem. When you work in a company, like maybe, let's say Amazon, or you work in a company like Facebook or Google, okay, or any company like maybe Tesla. So the company or the business will actually come up with a problem. Okay, Nasser, this is the issue. How do we solve it? Or this is the data. Can we actually get any pattern out of this data? Can we suggest something about this data? They will actually come with a problem. Okay, and we have to actually translate it into a machine learning problem. Okay, then we will be actually fetching a lot of data from the database. We will be actually transforming the data. We'll be filtering the data. We'll be putting the data in proper formats. Then we will actually try to build models. Okay, once the model is built, then we'll try to explore the data. Data modeling is done. Then we do the data exploration. Then when the model is done, we try to evaluate it. I mean, is the model behaving as per our expectations or not? How much accuracy is it giving? Is it giving 80% accuracy? Is it giving 90% accuracy or 95% accuracy? Once we are done with all these things, then we can discuss with business and we can deploy the model in real world for the business to use it. Okay. Once everything is ready, then the business can actually use it. That's what is going to be the job of a business analyst or a data scientist or a data analyst. We'll get a problem from business. We have to see what can be done in machine learning. Okay, what algorithms can be built. We have to prepare the data. We have to fetch the data. Once data is prepared, we'll figure it out what kind of algorithm we have to build. We have to maybe do a lot of hit and trials of various. I mean, there are a lot of algorithms, guys. We have to run the algorithm in different ways. Then we'll figure it out. Okay, which algorithm is giving me the best output. Then that algorithm can be deployed in the real world, in the market, which can be used by the business. This is how a normal scenario, a normal project in machine learning sector works. Okay, we'll again cover the details when you actually enroll for the classes. How do we deploy a model in the real world? Yes, different terms are there, Nasser. I mean, it will be really confusing, but critical thinking skills, deep learning, there's something called deep learning. Okay, there are a lot of words, a lot of buzzwords, I can say. There's something called natural language processing. There is something called text mining. Okay, so there are a lot of things here. In all these things, we are using data science. We're using machine learning. I mean, theoretically, yeah, a lot of things are there, but only when you deep dive into it, you actually find the flavor inside. What exactly lies inside. only when you start working, when you start studying the details. But if you go to an article, yeah, it will talk about a lot of things from theoretical point of view. When we actually start building algorithms, when we actually start looking at the data, then you will get a hold of the subject. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, I talked about Power BI and Tableau, right? During the initial phase of our webinar. So when we have the data with us, or the data can be pulled from a different system. It can be pulled from a website. It can be pulled using an API, application programming interface. When we get the data in our systems, and then we can use Power BI or Tableau to build reports for data visualization. Okay, these things will also be taught if you actually opt for the business analytics course. We have two courses for 20 hours and 40 hours, business analytics. So there will be covering machine learning concepts. There will be covering Power BI, Tableau, and we'll also cover some software development lifecycle methodologies, which are used in companies. You will actually get a real feel of it, how the projects work. What is an implementation project? What is a rollout project? What is a support project? So you'll get a real feel of it, guys. You opt for business analytics course. So Nitin can help you out. You can reach out to Nitin after this webinar, and we have the syllabus with Nitin. He can maybe share it with you. The 20 hours and 40 hours thing for machine learning or for business analytics. Right? Next slide, please. This is just a sample thing, guys. How a 20 hours class for machine learning looks like. We'll be covering these things: introduction to ML, AI, data science, Python basics, in different algorithms will be covered, hyperparameters, text mining, and we'll also go through these capstone projects. They're actually real-time projects which are used in the industry. House price prediction, wine quality prediction, attrition prediction in a company, Twitter sentiment analysis. Just to name some, we have 4 here. Maybe we'll be covering more projects when we start the classes. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, please go ahead. If everything is done, maybe I can actually switch on to. Okay, I can switch on to the algorithm. How do I share my screen? Can just let me know when you're able to see my screen? Maybe Nitin, you can help me out. You can just ping me. Maybe you can speak out. I try to share my screen.
Jyoti, you can, I think, share your screen from the Google Meet.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that now. I'm trying to present. Just let me know when you're able to see it.
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay, great. So guys, I'll just try to show you an algorithm. Okay, a simple one, the horse prediction. Before that, we can actually have a look at the data. Let me open that Excel sheet. So I was talking to you about the data, right, guys? So you'll get a lot of data in Excel sheets, maybe, or it can be in any format. We have to transform the data. We have to work on the data first. So if you see this data, it has almost 1460 rows. So what we are trying to do here, we're actually trying to predict the price of a house. Okay, you can see all these things are there in this data, in this Excel sheet. The columns are what is the area of the house, in which year it was built, in which year it was remodeled, rebuilt, total basement area, central air conditioning is there or not, how many full bathrooms are there, how many half bathrooms are there in basement, how many bedrooms are there, kitchens are there. You can see a lot of information is available. And we have how many rows? Almost 1460 rows, guys. You can see here below. If you just exclude the header. So what we'll try to do is we'll actually try to feed this data to the machine. Okay, the machine will build a model and we'll also get the accuracy of the model. Okay, we'll train the machine. We'll build the model. We'll train the machine. then that model can be used to predict the house price. So once the model is ready, once the business says, okay, this model is ready for me. Okay, we have different companies like real estate companies in India or in different countries, right? You must be using the platforms for renting a house, for buying a house. So they use all these algorithms, guys, for predicting the house price. Once the model is ready, once it is accepted by business, that company, they will start using it. So once let's say tomorrow they get a new house in the market which needs to be sold, they will just feed this information, which are there in the columns. Once they feed all this information, then the machine will actually give them the approximate price. Okay, so we'll teach the machine how to behave, how to predict. We'll train the machine a lot. Once the machine is ready to use, it will be given to the business. When the business feeds any new data to the machine learning algorithm, it will give them the output. Okay, I have one program with me. This is in Google Colab, guys. This is how Google Colab looks like. Okay, but that this Excel sheet which I showed to you guys, it has to be there in a Google Drive. Okay, we have to connect Google Drive to the Google Colab. Google Colab is a Google Collaboratory. It's a very beautiful platform which has been given by Google, and you can write a program in Google Colab and execute it. Okay, I'm not going through the code one by one right now. There are different packages, libraries available in the market like NumPy, Pandas, Scikit-learn. So we have made use of these libraries. So guys, we have readily built code in all these libraries. So what we have to do is we have to just make use of this code. Okay, you can see NumPy, Pandas, sklearn. So they're all different libraries. So we're importing them and we're just trying to use them in the code. So here what I'm trying to do is I'm actually trying to read that file from my Google Drive. It's there in my drive and the sheet name is price prediction. So we'll do different kind of operations on the data. Okay, a lot of things are there, guys. I won't be able to make you understand right now. We're almost coming towards the end of this webinar. So when I have to do a lot of work on the data here, it's there in the code. Okay. Okay. So what we do is we will actually train the algorithm how to predict the house price. So we have 100 records, let's say, then we'll provide 70 records for training to the machine. The machine will get trained on 70 records. And it will try to predict the price for next 30 remaining records. Then we'll try to figure out, okay, this Excel sheet, it has all the house price guys. If you see this, if I go to the last column, you can see the sales price. See there in the data sheet. Now when we'll train the machine, okay, for the first 70 records, let's say for example, we'll train the machine, okay, if these parameters are there, then what will be the sales price? The machine will get trained, the model will be built, then we evaluate the machine. So now what we'll do is after doing this, training the machine, the next 30 records, for example, will be passed to the machine to predict the house price. Then we'll compare what is the prediction and what is the actual value for the next 30 records. I'm just telling an example, guys. Then we can actually try to put it in a plot, in a graph, and we can try to figure it out. Let me try to run this actually. So these things, I'll be covered in detail. I won't be able to explain you in just next 5-10 minutes, guys. A lot of things. But I'm actually trying to use two colors, red and blue here. Okay. The predict thing, you can see the machine is going to predict the values which will be in blue color and the actual values, okay, which are there in the sheet. The sales price it will be in red color. So blue one will be the prediction and red one will be the actual value in the Excel sheet. Okay, I'm also trying to find out the score, the accuracy of the model, guys. It might be 70%, it might be 80%, 90%, it depends on the business scenario. Now we need to figure it out. What accuracy is okay with me? If I'm trying to figure the sales price of a house or a car, then maybe I'm okay with 80% accuracy or 90% accuracy. But if it has something to do with space exploration, weather forecasting, or healthcare industry, it has to have very huge amount of accuracy, a very high amount of accuracy, maybe 95% plus or 98%, 99%, for example. Okay, we'll try to see what accuracy score we're getting here. Okay, I'll try to run this. There is a way of actually running this. I mean, this is a run button in Google Colab. Let me run this. Let's see what's coming here. Okay, now it has run. I mean, how to come to this page, how to write a program. I'll show you the details when you actually start our classes, guys. Now I'll just show you the output, how it comes. If I scroll down, there are a lot of things actually I was trying to print in the output. Okay, I was trying to see how the records are getting fetched from the Excel sheet. Okay, so if you see this score, guys, 0.77, this is the accuracy of our model. 77% accuracy is the thing for our model. There are different ways also how I can improve my accuracy. There are different ways of doing this. There are a lot of variables. Maybe I'll try to remove certain variables if they are not important. Then I'll try to find out if the accuracy is getting increased or not. Okay. Now if I see the graph, I was trying to plot the graph. You can see the blue ones are the prediction by the machine, and the red ones are the actual values. So this is how the graph looks like. If I want to show you, it's just one example, small example, guys. There will be a lot of examples like this. There are different ways of doing this. There are a lot of algorithms, classification, regression, and classification regression. We have a lot of things. We have text mining. We have hyperparameters tuning. I mean, there are a lot of things, guys. I mean, so many things to learn. So it depends on what course you choose. Maybe 20 years course or 40 years course. You opt for machine learning or you opt for business analytics. There are different things available in different courses. So you can get in touch with Nitin and he will help you out. This is one example I was trying to show you in Google Colab. And yes, this is how it looks. The graph, the accuracy, the code is there here. You don't have to buy the code, guys. I'm saying it again and again. We will be giving you the code. We will be teaching you how to interpret the code. And what you have to do is you have to actually take help of Google or the documents that are available. So you take any expert with 30 years experience, 40 years experience, no one will be able to remember the code line by line. No one will be able to remember by heart. That's why we have to use the documents available which are there in internet. The official documents, guys. If I go to NumPy page, if I go to Pandas page, web page, there I will find the documentation, which will tell me how to use it if I don't know anything. You don't have to remember these things by heart. I don't remember these things by heart, to be very frank with you guys. So you need not be a pro in coding. We will teach you the basics of Python and how you can use this, how you can interpret the code. I think I've talked about a lot of things in this 1 hour. I hope it was helpful to you guys. I was able to clear some of your doubts. And I think you can understand the popularity, why it is so much popular nowadays, guys. Why everyone speaks about machine learning, why everyone speaks about AI, data science, deep learning. Okay. So I think I'm done now. Nitin, over to you.
Thank you, Jyoti. That was a really wonderful session.
Thanks, Nitin. I'll stop sharing.
Yeah. So guys, hope you liked the session. It was really wonderfully taken by Jyoti. So the next batch of the data science beginner course, it is commencing from 24th July, and it is exclusively for the attendees of the webinar. And the batch size is only 25, and only limited seats are available now. So coming to the price, the original price of the course is 24,999 INR and 336 USD. But have an exclusive offer only for the attendees of this webinar, and they can use this code WEBBY50 to get a 50% discount, and this offer will be valid for the next 3 hours. And anyone who wants to enroll for this course, they can contact me directly. These are my contact details. You can keep a screenshot of this page. And yeah, I'm hoping forward for your enrollment. Thank you. And regarding the e-certificates, the Google link, Google form link is available in the chat box. You can fill the feedback form, and the e-certificates will be delivered to you.